So One Piece is finally back from its 1 year hiatus. Or, no. Sorry. That was me. 1 year hiatus, that was on me. But One Piece is back from its 1 month hiatus with chapter 1054, Flame Emperor. Now, of course, a lot of things have changed in my life since you guys all last saw me. But I'm here to talk about it. I'm really excited. This chapter was amazing. Like, dude, I was up off my seat reading it as soon as we got to the Shanks part of it, which, of course, is probably what I'm going to dive right into first. But Oda really brings back Shanks in this chapter, right outside Wano. Like, I've been saying for quite some time now that I think that if any of the factions are going to make a play here in Wano, of course, I was saying all this back before the raid ended, but if any of the factions were going to make a play here in Wano, I always thought that it was going to be Shanks and the red-haired pirates. I think with the whole Film Red thing on the horizon, it makes the most sense. I thought that maybe we were going to finally get the destined meeting between Luffy and Shanks here, but that's not what ended up happening. But what we did get was we got to see the red-haired pirates for the first time in a long time, and we got to actually see a bit of the crew dynamic, which was awesome. It was great to see Lucky Roo again. Honestly, just Yasopp being afraid to meet Usopp again, that was so good. And that moment, man, of just like seeing Shanks just looking down at that piece of paper and just looking at the newspaper with Luffy's updated bounty, and he's just so proud. We get the flashbacks. That hit me, man. I love when Oda will redraw things that we haven't seen for so long and give us this updated art style view back on some of the most iconic looks in the series. And he even added a few things in, like that panel of Luffy sitting there, they're like overlooking the sea. It's so good. I haven't gone back to fact check this or anything, but I honestly think that this might be the longest Shanks has been in a chapter since chapter 1, which is just wild to me. And his dynamic with the crew, especially just like how they're all excited, they want to go see Luffy, and he's like, no, it's not time yet. We're going to get there, don't worry, but it's not time yet. It's not time for that. And when he walks over and he picks up that bottle of sake, oh, this was him just saying, hey, Beck, don't you think it's time we go claim it? My man said claim. I hope everyone's listening because my man said claim. Claim it. The One Piece. Time to claim the One Piece. That was... I think, man, like, Shanks has got to have known all this time where the One Piece is. Like, there's no way at this point that he hasn't known. He's just been waiting. Like, what did Roger tell him all those years ago that made him cry? I know we're going to find out one day. I'm not even trying to sit here and speculate on it, but I just know that Shanks has been playing 4D chess this entire series. He knew exactly what he was doing. He knew what fruit he was going after. And I think that, if anything, this lends even more credence to the theory that Shanks was on Fuchsia Village to begin with, looking for Ace, looking for Roger's son, to give the fruit that was supposed to save the world. And he just so happened to stumble upon the man who was going to be Joy Boy. And gosh darn, man. Like, what a good chapter. And there's this whole thing going around with the sake bottle, because it's kind of, we get this close-up of the sake bottle, and on the sake bottle it says number 5, 76, and, you know, I don't, or not 76, 67. I don't know if this means anything, but, you know, I went ahead and I pulled out volume number 5. And if you go to page 76 on volume number 5, there's not much happening. It's right in the middle of Syrup Village. It's actually on this page. It's right after Kuro has unleashed his cat out of the bag, or whatever the heck it's called, and he's attacking the cliffs and everything. But I think that specifically this panel right here, give it a second to focus in. I don't know if it's even in frame, but he's attacking the cliff wall. I think that may be foreshadowing for where we're going, and I will talk a little bit about that when we get to what happens at the end of the chapter. But God, man, it was so good to see Shanks. Like, that's my GOAT. I mean, he's not my number one character, but like every time, I just want him. Like, I want him in the series constantly, and that's what I'm striving for. But after that, I mean, well, I guess before that, we have to deal with these pressing issues in Wano because we have an admiral to deal with, and this man, the forest fruit, like, not. I personally was leaning a bit more towards I wished that he had a Zoan type because I think it would have made more sense for all three of the admirals or current admirals, like pre-time skip admirals. We all had Logia. Post-time skip admirals, we have a Paramecia. We still have Kizaru with the Logia. I would have personally have liked to see Ryokugyu be a Zoan, but, you know, we can't always get what we want. But this guy looks menacing. Oh, God. And the Akazaya 9 just going up against him. And, I mean, I've heard a lot of slander out there saying that these characters are getting just completely wiped. That's not how I read it. I thought that they were holding their own. I mean, there's even a small part of the panel where you can actually see Nekomamushi, and he's, like, sliced off a bit of the tree when Ryokugyu goes, like, full tree man form. And then we, of course, Yamato interfering, and then Momo coming in, faking him out with the blast breath, and then going ahead and calling back to that earlier line when he bit Kaido. You just bit an Emperor of the Sea. Is there anything in the world that seems scary to you now? Just chomping right down on this man. No fear. He's here to protect his country. That stuff is like... And I specifically think that moment is more in line now with Yamato for Straw Hat. Like, because Momo steps in there. Yamato comes to help. And Momo steps in and he specifically says, you know, Yamato, don't fight. We're not fighting this. You're not fighting this. We'll take care of this. And I think that the reason for that is because Momo kind of wants to do his best to protect his own nation, and he wants the Straw Hats to completely stay out of it. So for me, that is like another huge tick in the box of Yamato for Straw Hat. Because Momo is just sitting there like, I don't want Luffy, I don't want any of the Straw Hats involved. Like, this is going to be me protecting my nation. My nation will handle this. The Straw Hats got nothing to do with it. And then... Of course, we get to everything that happens at the end of the chapter. We finally get to find out what happened at the Reverie, which was a little predictable, if I'm going to be honest. I know that there's been a million different theories of what happened, but of course we learned that Cobra died. You know, rest in peace. Alabasta, my favorite arc of all time, and I love every character that has been introduced in Alabasta. I'm actually so glad that it was this predictable, to be honest, though. You know, everything that Cobra's been through in the series, I thought that he was a great character, but I think his death is going to serve a purpose. That purpose is to bring Vivi back to the Straw Hats, because now Alabasta has no kingdom. Vivi's on the run. Vivi is missing, we learn, where she is. I think it's pretty clear to assume that she is on her way to the Straw Hats. We had 3 whole people at the Reverie with a Beaver card to Luffy. So we know that Sabo is up to something. We don't know if he's exactly MIA, but we know the world government doesn't have his hands on him. You know, Sabo and the Revolutionaries, they succeeded. Kuma got rescued. There was the framing, of course, but I don't know so much if it actually was Sabo. I don't think it would make sense for Sabo to have been the one to kill Cobra. I am very glad that we're not going with the Ace 2.0 Sabo is captured storyline. I think that he needs his own thing. Like, we need to separate him from Ace more. He's kind of just like a replacement for that character. Even though I think it is being handled well within the story, definitely give him his own thing. And this whole Flame Emperor burning the fires of justice, burning the fires of rebellion, I think this is a good route to go with it. And I personally think that it is possible that Sabo is the one who is bringing Vivi to the Straw Hats. I think it would be very interesting for Luffy to sail for a little while with his brother, being as he never actually got to do that with Ace. But yeah, Vivi is for sure coming back, which leads me to believe even more that we are going to Elbaf, if not next, at least one of the next 2 islands that we are going to. We are 1,000% going to Elbaf. For anyone that caught my theory video that I uploaded earlier this week, one of my main reasons about why I thought that Vivi was coming back to the crew was that she was there when Usopp and Luffy heard about Elbaf all the way back in Little Garden, so she has ties to that island. I thoroughly believe that she will come back, especially as I think that Elbaf is going to be a more diplomatic conflict than it is going to be an actual physical punchy punch kind of arc, you know? But yeah, there's a lot going on here. There's a lot to unpack. I don't even think that I did the arc, this chapter justice at all by the little bit I talked about it. But like, man, it is so good to finally have a payoff from like things that have been being built for so long. We finally figure out what's happening at the Reverie. We get to see Shanks again. Like, what a chapter. But, you know, let me know what you guys think about the chapter down in the comments. If you liked what I had to say, go ahead and tell me there as well. If you want to hear more from me, I now am officially, hopefully back. I will be doing chapter reviews every single week, and for every chapter that we have one. And I look forward to seeing you guys around. If you want to hang around, make sure to subscribe. Make sure to like to, you know, let me know that that's what you guys want as well.
Hey guys, I just wanted to tack this on to the end of the video here, and thank you for making it all the way through. I am in a new office. I have moved locations since the last time that we spoke, so I apologize if the video is a little more unfocused and all over the place, and if the audio is a little more echoey. I will be taking steps to improve the video quality as time goes on, but for now I'm just really happy to be back, and I really hope that you guys stay along with me just to kind of rant about One Piece, because we are in the end game, as I said at the end of my last theory video, and man, it's wild to just be alive right now, living these times. I have so much that I want to say about every chapter, but until next time that I see y'all, you know, take care of yourselves, and I look forward to riding this wave with you.